Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Here once again we have come up with yet another class, chapter number 6, which the introduction of which we have done in our previous video. Now we are going to read the actual story, Papachi's Mouth. In the brief introduction, you have been told about that it was written by Arundhati Roy, who became a successful writer with this novel, the part of which has been extracted and given prescribed in your book, the God of Small Things. It was in 1997, and she was given the Booker Prize for Literature, and she won 50 half a million pounds. And before that she was not instantly a successful writer in his life. Rather, she had gone through so many difficulties in her life. Her Keralite Syrian Christian Keralite mother and Bengali father raised her in a situation that she was also become a social activist. She used to talk about the social and political injustice in society. And it was the story she has presented. The God of Small Things was about the fate of two fraternal brothers who became victim of the circumstances. And we have been told that Papachi and Mamachi are the two husbands who have fathered Chaku and Amu. And it was Chaku, who the brother of Amu, who was now the temporal. There was a temporal shift in the timeline of the story. He was an Oxford Rhodes Scholar, and he came home for a vacation, and he found his father beating his mother, Mamachi, and he hold his hand and told him never to do that again. And this whole idea is that behind, though Papachi was an entomologist and ex-entomologist before his retirement, his behavior became bitter. And after his discovery of a new species of moth, which was credited to someone else, as we will learn a little later, that it was credited to as a junior of him, which he himself disliked. And the actual theme of the story is that how small things in our lives made our life affect our behavior and affect the life of other people's. So the story here we are going to start is page number 49. Mamachi had started making pickles commercially soon after Papachi retired from government service in Delhi and came to live in Amman. Now the story is, as we have been already told, is set in Amman, Kottayam, part of Kerala now. So here Mamachi started making pickles, though it on a scale, commercially is tijarati scale पे बनाना, soon after Papachi's retirement from government service in Delhi. And they started living in Amman. The Kottayam Babel Society was having a fair. The Kottayam Babel Society, it is a society like we have Anjumans in our Islamic seminary part, or our society, as we have different groups. So there was a society by the name of the Kottayam Babel Society, Christian society, was having a fair, and they were thinking of holding a fair, and asked Mamachi to make some of her famous banana jams and tender mango pickles. And Mamachi had been asked to make some pickles and jams of mango, and she was now doing it on a commercial basis. It sold quickly. Now when she brought that, it sold quickly. It went away into the market quickly, and Mamachi found that she had more orders than she could cope with. Now it was so quickly sold in the society, she became an instant success in his life of being a commercial pickle maker. And now she is getting orders that was difficult for her to cope up with. Means she was not able to deal with the orders she was getting. Thrilled with her success, now he was completely enjoyed, he was filled with joy with her success. She decided to persist means to continue to show resistance, whatever the comes what may. She would deal with the situation with the pickles and jams. She's keep making them, the pickles and jams, and soon found herself busy all year around. Now she became a perennial source of commercial activity herself, and she now she was busy throughout the year. Papaji, for his part, now on the other part is Papaji was retired from his government service, was having trouble coping with the ignominy of retirement. Ignominy means the sort of dishonor he was facing now, because when he was in service, people were used to respect him, or somehow maybe he might thought that his status might get lower in society because of his retirement. He might thought about it. He was not able to cope up with this his retirement, so was having trouble. He had a problem with the ignominy of retirement, that he has been dishonored. He thought about it. He was 17 years older than Mamaji. If we look at the age difference between Mamaji and Papaji, he was 17 years old and realized it with a shock that he was an old man when his wife was still in her prime. Prime means here still in her youth, middle ages, is 45 years. Though Mamaji had conical cornea is anatomy. In anatomy, the transparent layer making up the outermost layer, outermost of the eyes, covering the part iris, pupil, and anterior chambers. This is what called conical cornea is the कॉनिकल कॉर्निया, यानी अगर आप उसको उर्दू में मीनिंग निकालेंगे तो सफ़ेदी वाला जो हिस्सा होता है उसको बोलते हैं कॉनिकल कॉर्निया. एंड शी वॉज hit by the disease conical corneas and was already practically blind. Now she was not able to see things the way she used to be in her youth, so there is a problem with her also. Papaji would not help her with the pickle making. Papaji on the other side was not helping her to make in making pickles, because he did not consider pickle making a suitable job for a higher ranking ex-government official. Ex means something who was before S, while earlier he was a government official, and he thought it is out of his status that it is not suitable for him to make pickles. He slouched. Slouched means a gesture in which we put our shoulders down and head down. इस तरह से चलना, इसको कहते हैं slouching. यानी बिल्कुल ऐसे कि जैसे कि सुस्त तरीके से कोई बंदा ऐसे घूम फिर रहा हो तो उसको क्या कहते हैं, slouch कहते हैं. वॉकिंग क्लमजीली, जो बहुत अजीब तरीके से चलता हो, बिल्कुल सुस्त नजर आता हो, जो आपको नजर आता हो. तो ही slouched around the compound in his immaculately tailored suit, जो उसको सूट बनाया हुआ इमेकुलेटली, यानी क्लियरली या बिल्कुल बेदाग जो उसका सूट जो टेलर ने बनाया हुआ था उसको पहनकर वो घूमता रहता है. वीविंग सलन सर्कल्स, सलन यानी बेड सर्कल्स, कभी इस तरह से चलता हुआ रहता. अराउंड माउंट्स ऑफ रेड चिलीज एंड फ्रेशली पाउडर्ड येलो टर्मरिक. वॉचिंग Mamaji supervised the buying and the weighing, the salting and drying of limes and tender mangoes. Now what Papaji was doing, he was slouching and making bed circles around the mounds. Mounds क्या होता है, टीले होते हैं, मिट्टी के जो टोकटोक होता है, साटोक से देते हैं, उस साटोक से देते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं कि माउंट्स ऑफ रेड चिलीज जो पीस के यानी ग्राउंड रेड चिलीज एंड फ्रेशली पाउडर्ड येलो टर्मरिक, उनके जो माउंट्स होते थे उनके इर्द गिर्द घूमता. वॉचिंग Mamaji supervise the buying, he would look at Mamaji the way she was supervising, जैसे कि वो नज़र रख रही होती है, सुपरवाइज कर रही होती है कि लोग कैसे ख़रीद रहे हैं, द वेइंग किस तरह से तोला जा रहा है, द साल्टिंग एंड ड्राइंग कैसे नमक डाला जा रहा है, कैसे सुखाया जा रहा है, ऑफ लाइम्स एंड टेंडर मैंगोज, बिकॉज दिस वर द इंग्रेडिएंट्स दैट वर रिक्वायर्ड to make pickles. Every night he beat her with a brass flour vase. Brass is a metal alloy of copper and zinc. It's in your chemistry that brass क्या होता है, it's an alloy mixture of copper and zinc. तो उसके फ्लावर वेस्ट होता है, वेस्ट आपने सुना होगा जो वेस्ट रखते हैं, उससे वो पीटता है, अपनी बीवी को मारता है. एवरी नाइट ही बीट, वो मारता है, पीटता है. द बीटिंग्स वर नॉट न्यू, ये कोई नई बात नहीं थी. व्हाट वाज न्यू वाज ओनली द फ्रीक्वेंसी विद विच दे टुक प्लेस. नाउ the beatings was not new, it was already when he was in services he used to do that, but now the frequency, the speed at which the beatings were taking place was raised, it expedited, यानी speeded up, वो तेज हो गया था. One night, Papachi broke the bow of Mamachi's violin and then it in the and threw it in the river. Violence bow. Violence bow is means like a violin. आपने that musical instrument you have seen violin जिसको कहते हैं उसको बजाने के लिए एक छोटा सा bow बना होता है and that the ring the bow strip was the string was made of the horse's hair. घोड़े के बाल से बने होते हैं and he broke it and threw it into the river. Now here grammatical point is the broke the bow of Mamachi's violin. Whenever you use a musical instrument, write about a musical instrument, it should always be preceded by the definite article the. It should be used and threw it into the river. Now he threw it into the river. First he beat her, then he one night he broke the violin bow and threw it into the river. Then Chaku came home from a summer vacation from Oxford. Chaku, Amu's brother, came back from Oxford for a vacation at home. He had grown to be a big man and he has now he had a strong build-up and was in those days strong from rowing for Belilo, and he was strong just because of he was rowing यानी कश्ती चलाने वाला का काम करता है, rowing होता है कश्ती चलाना, चप्पू चलाना. So Belilo is an Oxford University College part for there was competitions, so he used to take part in these rowing competitions and he was so strong because of that. A week after he arrived, he found Papachi beating Mamachi in the study. He found that Papachi was beating his mother, Mamachi, in his private study room. That is the study. And what happened? Chaku strode into the room. Strode means taking long steps, quickly taking long steps towards something. जब उसको कहते हैं strode यानी तेज कदमों लंबे लंबे कदमों के साथ जाना. With long steps into the room, caught Papachi's waist. पकड़ लेता है पापाची की waist को and waist hand in the hand in which he was holding the waist and twisted it around his back and twisted it around यानी इसको ऐसे पकड़ के पीछे की तरफ इस तरह से लाता है उसको. I never want this to happen again, and he told his father ever that it should not happen again. For the rest of the day, that day, Papachi sat in the veranda and he sat in the veranda, the जो आपके पास terrace होता है, and stared stonily out at the ornamental garden. And he was looking stared stonily. Stonily means as if he was not moving, as if he became a stone, a statue. इस तरह से वो देख रहा है कौन क्या out at the ornamental garden. The ornamental garden. The garden that was ornamented, decorated, ignoring the plates of food that Kochu Maria was a servant in his home. Kochu Maria brought him. He was ignoring the plates of food also that was brought by Kochu Maria. Late at night, he went into his study, and at late in the night, he went into his study and brought out his favorite mahogany rocking chair. Mahogany, a tropical timber tree valued for their yellowish to red brown wood. It is a hardwood is mahogany. You might be asked, it is a geographically it's important. Mahogany rocking chair. Rocking chair means rocking means जैसे कि आप बच्चे को ऐसे ऐसे rocking करते हैं आलो तंगादिस करेगा तो उस तरह से mahogany rocking chair. This was his favorite and he brought it from his study and broke it into pieces. He put it down in the middle of the driveway where we used to drive, जहाँ पे गाड़ी चलाता था वहाँ पे लाता है and smashed it into little bits और उसको तोड़ के smashed means hit hard and turned it into little bits, छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों में change कर देते हैं with a plumber's monkey wrench. प्लम्बर के पास जो रेंज होता है, रेंज जो आपने देखा होगा रेंज देते हैं उसके साथ तोड़ के रख देता है. He left it there in the moonlight. वो रोज चांद की रोशनी में उसे वहीं छोड़ देता है. A heap of varnished wickers, जैसे कि बिल्कुल varnished यानी जैसे का एक केमिकल होता है which is used to polish things just like this boat has been varnished, I think. So varnish it just like varnished wickers. Wickers यानी माचिस की तीलियों की तरह जो वार्निश किया हुआ हो, जिसको बिल्कुल फिनिशिंग किया गया है, उस तरह से वहाँ पे जमा करके जाते हैं. एंड स्प्लिंटर्ड वुड एंड ब्रोकन वुड, उसके ढेर की तरह. ए हीप ऑफ वार्निश्ड विकर्स एंड स्प्लिंटर्ड वुड, ब्रोकन पीस ऑफ वुड्स एंड स्प्लिंटर्ड varnished wickers. He never touched Mamachi again. He never touched in his life again. But he never spoke to her either. Neither he talked to her from that onwards. From that day onwards, as long as he lived, till he lived his life. When he needed anything, he used Kochumaria or Baby Kochama as intermediaries. Intermediaries yani something that works in between two things, usko intermediaries कहते हैं. तो he used to use them. In the evening, when he knew visitors were expected, he would sit on the veranda and sew buttons that were not missing on his shirt to create an impression that Mamachi neglected him. Now whenever he was told about, he knew about that somebody is coming to meet him in their home, visiting their home, he used to sit in the veranda and start stitching buttons on his shirt that was not missing, just to create an impression that Mamachi has ignored her. उसको बहुत ignore किया गया है जरे ये show करने के लिए. वो क्या था, to some small degree extent to up to some किसी हद तक he did succeed in further corroding means decaying or destroying the eminence views of working wives. ठीक है, तो eminence यानी the people in eminence view, their perspective, और he was succeeded in corroding means destroying, खराब करने में कामयाब हो गया कि इनका working wives के impression को, जो उनका status है. He bought a sky blue Plymouth, is a car from an old Englishman in Munnar. Munnar is a place in Kerala where he bought this car. He became a familiar sight in Amman. Now he used to went in his car, so people see him, used to go in his car and people see him, usko dekhte, and he was a common figure in the familiar figure in the Ayman. Coasting importantly down the narrow roads in his white car. Now coasting importantly यानी coasting means वहाँ से गुजरते हुए, importantly बहुत ही अहमियत के साथ, down the narrow roads, तंग रोड से, in his white car, अपने बड़े से कार में, looking outwardly elegant but sweating freely inside his woolen suits. Though he was looking outwardly, it was look very grand, excellent, but he was sweating inside his sweet woolen suit in the car. He would not allow Mamachi or anyone else in the family to use it. He never allowed somebody to use his car or even to sit in it. इसमें बैठने भी नहीं दिया. The Plymouth was Papachi's revenge. It was a sort of revenge against others that others have ignored, or the ignominy he has out of this his retirement. Papachi had been an imperial entomologist at the Pusa Institute. He was imperial entomologist. Entomologist is someone who is an expert in the study of insects. After independence, when the British government left, his designation was changed from imperial entomologist to joint director entomology director बना दिया गया. The year he retired, he had risen to a rank equivalent to a director. Now, when he was in his last year and he was going to retire by the end of the year, his status was changed from joint director to the equivalent of a director. So keep it till here. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you for your kind attention. We will continue it in the next classes. Thank you.